Hi, and welcome to Friday's channeling from Odyssey. Odyssey. Easy for you to say. Odyssey of Ascension. This is Roxy. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. And greetings once again to the collective. This is Ocyphius. From the Oversoul Collective Fire, I bid you a good day. Alright, in the space-time now, we will continue our impartation of all that is. The offering of expansion. Does our offering slight you? If it does, know that you're looking from a projectum of a human perspective. Let's talk about the human perspective. Let's understand something that will give you a foundation of reality. Truly. Save the idea of expanding and getting, let's say, out of human perspective ideas. Put that aside for a second. We're going to stay within the human framework of perspective. If you are a coveter, which you are, unless you are an ascended master choosing to be born that of, let's say, no amnesia, that idea, and you don't necessarily have to be an ascended master, so relax. All right. So from the coveting idea of being in amnesia state upon your birth, you are viewing everything from a human perspective. So you can only equate anything in your reality based upon your experience of the human psyche. We say psyche because it's interconnected. You may not have direct experience with some things in your life, but you are most certainly connected to it in one fashion or another because you are telepathically connected to the one entire collective. Truly all of it, but within frequency frameworks, will stay within the construct of the human psyche. Now, and that idea, when you come upon, and I'm going to give you a little clarity, when you come upon something you've never seen before, it won't seem too out of bounds because within your psyche is the telepathic communication as well as with the item or, let's say, words or impartation you are receiving is the light encoded reality matrix of knowledge. You download it and you understand it. Maybe not comprehend it completely in immediacy, but most certainly you understand it to expand upon it. This is what we mean by human perspective. You are in the field of being a human in this separated complex. As you are ascending, you allow yourself things out of bounds. Of course. And where you look upon those ideas can only be equated once again to what is in the human perspective as conceivable reality. Think about it. So if you are, let's say, not knowing what a, let's say, let's give you something kind of out of bounds. But not too. That's too simple, but we'll do it. Planets. If you never understood what a planet was, then let's say when you talked about it, you had nothing to equate it to. Because within the human psyche, it was not being projected forward into the collective as a probable reality. So when you heard or seen the word planet, there's nothing to equate it to. But now you know, and of course it's planets. It's simple. That's what we're talking about. As you ascend, you get more information, but that information, that God stream of life, comes within your framework, can only be translated within the idea of what it can be compared or let's say paralleled to. That's it. All right. The idea behind this is as humanity, as a mass collective, we're talking, vibrational core signature of the entire collective, this now we're talking, as that raises itself in, let's say, co-creation, then there are peakers. We'll call this, let's say, the ones that peek out of the acceptable framework, the awake ones, that will peek out and draw something into reality. They don't have translatable words. First, it starts as art, music, vibrations that can only be translated without words, because words are art. They are symbols. Don't forget that. So when that idea, they start to get translated in different birthing ways of how to project it into physicality. Those of, let's say, we'll give you a simple one. Someone creating that of art, like we said, but also creating that of music, like we said, but also in the fashion of, maybe their appearance and way they dress. They put together something that's a little bit odd. It represents what they feel in vibrational context of a new understanding, and that's the only way they can bring it forth. Sounds out of bounds? Sounds too simple. You gotta look around and see everybody birthing their religion, birthing their belief, birthing their I am in one form or another in the fashion of representation, in the fashion of expansion. Most of it, listen now, is done at an unconscious level. Once that vibration is, let's say, transformed into equatable, more deemable ideas of impartation, then it will, in and of itself, mutate into something more. So what we're saying here is the ones that are going out of bounds, and you don't have to be awake truly to do this. It's, let's say, Steve Jobs. That guy, remember him? He was way up here living a reality and birthed it through this passion. He wasn't awake, but most certainly he was awake within himself. He followed his joy. So in this idea, we're looking at how to, let's say, in the next nows, we're coming to a point of humanity no longer, listen now, relying on comparisons to past knowledge of birthing ideas. You're doing it all the time, just your sense of awareness has not attached to it. But through this idea, now you are aware of things that seem, let's say, discounted, not relevant. But yet they're your joy, and you birth them one way or another into physicality. Those ideas is what we're talking about. So what that means is it will no longer be equatable to human, past, psyche, acceptable frameworks. Period. Now, what does that mean? All right. What it means is, as the collective, once again, we'll give you this as a foundation, a reminder, raises its core vibration. There will be more understandings of what's going on. You are shifting from here to there in conscious focus and spending more nows out there because you don't need the validation so much of comparisons to the past construct of the framework of the psyche. This is rapidity of ascension is what we're, let's say, imparting. Now, when you, in and of itself, get a new download from yourself, all right, don't think it's from somebody else. It may have come through a co-creation, but it was you, the separated complex, that allowed it. So awesome job. When that comes in, that download brings into your reality. Look at it for, in, let's say, a series of nows of contemplation. Not logic. We know this. You've had too many nows to let go of logic, because that is the idea of a trap to try to see where it's going to fit into the current framework. That's not what we want. We want you to go beyond yourself. In that contemplation moment, however it's telling you, trust it. It will tell you through vibration of feeling and through vibration of imagination visuals. Those ideas you take and birth them into physicality because they represent the light-encoded reality matrix. They represent a vibrational feeling. Listen, you don't need to go to a classroom and have someone lecture and take notes and read a book to learn something. Here's what you do. You can take the book, stick it under your armpit as one practicum did, and memorize the book and like that. That's one easy way to do it. That's what we're talking about here. The vibration of the impartation, the feeling that connects with you, and you just know it. And that idea, when you, as a, let's say, ideal person, receives this download, bursts it into reality as an unacceptable conscious framework reality, then that birthing gives the vibration in physical co-creation. That physical co-creation then offers the sense of awareness of this new vibration within the framework of humanity, not only in the physical, let's say, co-created now, that your room, in other words, as well as the entire psyche, the collective one of humanity, which only offers a vibration of heightened awareness, and then whatever is in there is downloaded because you brought it to the physical idea. Yes, it's downloaded through the all, but in rapidity, in quickness, if you will, your birthing of these ideas is right here. And that is the best impartation way of the mass asleep to gain that idea of going beyond itself. And they truly don't know what's going on in their conscious self, but let's say unconsciously down here, they are getting it. They are moving themselves. Listen, feeling is taking over, if you will. Word and that idea of impartation is most valid, yes. However, there is a heightened play of feeling vibration. It's like when you're sitting with someone in complete silence and you have an entire conversation. All you have to do is follow your joy and know that you actually did have a conversation. And whatever comes out of that is a new part of you for that co-created. Now, not only the experience of not speaking yet speaking, however, as well as rather what is encoded in that vibrational feeling of transformation of thought between those two or several entities, it does not matter. So the human perspective is what we're offering in this idea, listen now, that you don't have to validate. It was a practicum in place as a stepping stone, reaching a little bit beyond with action, thought, and words. But it was in a way of one, maybe two, maybe three offering. But now the human collective has raised this vibration, and now hundreds of thousands are truly creating thought, listening to the thought, translating these new vibrations, and birthing them into physical reality, which only allows the collective to look at itself that much quicker. That's the idea. Let go of trying to fit it into what is. This is how you've ascended. This is, let's say, the stepping stones of, let's say, in the past being a little slower. But now, you just go with it. And whatever comes in, speak your joy on that. Because that idea, and how matter, yes, it's not necessarily speaking. We say that as expressing your joy. Take that, whatever it is, and bring it forth. If it is art, if it is music, if it is writing in and of itself, if it is, let's say, a lot of you love the galactic languages, speak them in public. Don't be afraid. Speak them. It does not matter, for you need no one's approval. The galactic language is a language. That entity is now receiving it in physical, let's say, co-creation and remembering it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have that co-creation moment as they already knew it. Truly, everyone knows it, but we're talking unique ideas of moments of now. So, furthering yourself in expansion upon humanity. as humanity, as a collective whole, takes their vibration and raises the entire collective by everyone raising their individualized vibration, only allows things of a, let's say, higher nature in a quicker fashion to be presented to the collective, only accelerating the entire ascension. Take this to heart. Time reader.
15 minutes.
Booyah. All right, we are going to come back in a few nows. We're going to take a break. I bid you a good now. Adonai. Booyah. Everything all right? All right, we'll take a break. Hi, and welcome back from break. Thanks for tuning back in. And welcome back from break once again. This is Ocyphius. All right. In continuation of this idea, the human perspective, we want you, this is a groundwork we just discussed, we want you to understand you are now birthing yourselves into a new way of communication, into a new way of understanding instantaneously in the moment, the vibration, the feeling that is present, not in the, let's say, humdrum way of speaking words. Yes, it will take a series of nows to get to just to be purely telepathic, that idea, but you will not give up speaking, for it is joyous in that idea to create that vibration of sound. However, it will be less and less relied upon as you as a collective whole understand and trust the feeling that you get, because feeling is in play here. When you are in co-creation, you matter. What does that mean? You are vibrationally present in the moment. You are giving off your vibrations of who you are, what you believe, what you stand for, what you fear. All of it is in the mirror that you are projecting. The others in co-creation are receiving according to their perspective of humanity, their view truly of themselves. The more you individualize yourself in God, being that of, that idea, then more of these feelings will come into play. They will represent themselves in the way that you guys translate them according to your perceiving mind. When you feel something out of bounds, pay attention to it. Don't discount it so quickly. You are vibrationally in the presence of something, you. So know that it's you in co-creation receiving vibrations, and you are also giving it out. Don't discount that. We are shifting the collective from, let's say, relying on words, once again, over to feeling. It has a different quality, doesn't it? A dream has a quality in and of itself, does it not? A lucid idea, different quality. Awake in physical life, different quality. This vibrational feeling of, let's say, co-created transmissions of thought, given out and received, is a unique quality in and of itself. Feeling your way through the reality. The human psyche is based right now, perspective is based right now, dependently, mostly on words. Communication in that fashion. And we're talking letters and email. Anything that the symbol translates that equates to a word. Speaking. Much like we're doing right now. Truly, we could sit here and think this to you and you would get the whole download. Only according to what you perceive it as and how thick your filters are in different areas of all vibration. Let us touch upon that. You can instantly connect to someone, something, or someone and just know it. Because your filter is absent there. However, this entity is offering a different vibration and you can't receive as much because your filter is thicker, so a lot of it bounces off of you. It's not, let's say, allowed to come in, not because there's someone, let's say, saying no. It's you and your perception value that allows that in or not, or to what degree it's interpreted through the filter, depending on its thickness, on how it's going to be received by you. Transform yourself in a series of nows, little by little. This is an ascension. This is not ascended. It's a process. Allow yourself, little by little, in the nows of to be perceived, to come, if you will. More trust in yourself on feeling. When you know something and you feel it, take action on it. All of you have terms for it. A hunch, gut instinct, intuition. Those are the vibrational feelings that you have received, translated in a truth in you and action. Now, to validate, to know that this is the next idea of humanity, gosh no, part of next idea of humanity birthing itself into the new human to be perceived by all. Most certainly. Trust the feeling. The human idea of perspective is diminishing quickly on the reliability of words alone, transforming itself into the trust factor of words to the trust factor of feeling. From to. All right. This is all we have for this space-time now. This is Ocyphius. I bid you a good day. Adonai. Booyah. All right. All right, guys. I love you so much. Thanks again for tuning in. And we will get this up probably tomorrow, we think. Okay, there I go again. Noodle. Hi, I got both sides working. Love you guys. Bye.